Hello there guys, my name is Wahid, I'm a Dutch photographer, and in this video I'll be showing you how to take 5 next level self-portraits. Why are they next level? Well, I think that these photographs have something special to offer, which normal self-portraits don't. Over the years I've taken quite a few self-portraits, and I thought I'd compile them into this one video so I could show you how to do it for yourself. Taking self-portraits has quite a few benefits. You can do it at your own pace and in your own comfort zone, and most of all, you're not dependent of anyone. If you want to do photography, or if you think it's time to get some cool pictures of yourself, you can just do so. There are a few basic items which you'll need, of course, to take self-portraits. One of them is a camera, obviously. A second one is a tripod. These two are crucial, I would say. And optionally, you could have a wireless trigger. I myself am not a big fan of these things. I rarely use them actually. Nowadays you can also use your smartphone if you have a bit of a modern camera. Technology has come quite far. But most of the time, personally, I just take my camera. I use the intervalometer. So that's like a time-lapse mode. I put the timer on like 3 seconds or something, and the camera just takes photographs automatically of me. Of course, you do need to put your focus in right and go into manual and have all the settings right for a good exposure. But yeah, that's how I do it usually. Yeah, taking self-portraits has quite a few benefits, as I said before, but it can also be quite tricky. It can sometimes be a hassle to get the focus just right on you, especially if you're using apertures like f1.4. I wouldn't actually suggest that. I'd go to like f2.8 or something to get a larger depth of field and more sharpness, which then again makes focusing easier. And yeah, let's start with the most dangerous one, the one where I'm holding fire. It's not photoshopped, it's real fire. And yeah, I must say though, be safe when you do it. I myself was a little bit stupid. I myself did it in the attic, a relatively small room. I was playing with fire, I didn't have any fire extinguisher, no one was standing ready. So if you do try this one, yeah, take some safety measurements or precautions. Okay guys, for this fiery trick you'll need something to hold some water, deodorant which has butane in it, that's essential because it catches fire, and some dishwasher soap. Just add some water into the box, add a little bit of dishwasher soap, there's no exact measurements. Give it a little stir, add the gas, and now the bubbles which the soap has created contains the butane gas, which catches fire of course. Grab a lighter, put some of the soap bubbles on your hand, and it's time for magic. Yeah. So that's basically how you do the fiery part, and now on to the photography. Alright, we are in my attic. Sorry for the blurry parts, I had to hide some family photos. Back then I was still a noob, but okay. Basically, my camera is on a tripod on the right, as you can see. I've manually set the focus on my face after a few attempts. I use a wireless remote trigger to activate my camera. After 5 seconds it takes the photo. Once I've pressed the wireless trigger, I throw the remote away, because as you can see I need both of my hands. One has the soap and one has the lighter. And yeah, after those 5 seconds I hope and pray that my pose and that the fire is caught at the right moment, because the fire is there for just about 1 second or something. Okay, levitation photography. This one is a lot easier than the previous one. All you'll need is a chair, a camera and a tripod. Once you get on location, Try to find a nice calm position. I would suggest to place your camera lower. That way you'll create a perspective which helps to show that you're levitating. It'll create separation between you and the ground. So you put your camera on the intervalometer mode, the time lapse, and you go into position. You start to do levitation stuff. Yeah, like you're floating on the chair basically. Make sure it's safe, of course. Also try to think about the physics, like your jacket, the gravity, the way it works on it. It has to float. Levitation photography, the way I do it, yeah, you'll need 2 photographs. One photograph just of the scene with nothing in it, and one photograph with the scene where you are on the chair. That way you have the information which is behind the chair, and with Photoshop or a different app you can easily erase the chair, and that's how you create the levitation effect. Let me quickly show you. Okay, once you are back home and you've opened up Photoshop, you first open a photo of the scene with nothing in it, then you drag the photograph of yourself in it, you create a layer mask on the layer with your body in it, and then you can start to erase the chair away with a black brush. The tricky part is actually to erase the parts where the chair intersects with like your body, with like my denim jacket and some other parts. I filled those parts up with the patch tool and with the clone tool. It can take a little bit of time. It took me about 15 minutes, but yeah, you basically fill it up with the stuff around it. The next photograph that I'll be showing you how to make is this one. I actually used it on one of my photo books, which I make every year just for myself. And yeah, 2018, a reoccurring theme for me was, or something that I learned was, to like really believe in yourself and to believe in the things that you want and be confident, you know, stuff like that. And I thought this would make a cool cover. For this photograph, you do need to have a flash. This one is from Yongnuo, relatively cheap, pretty good. I don't use flash too often, but yeah, it's good to have. And you will also need a softbox. I connect a wireless remote trigger to the flash, and the receiver goes to my camera so that I can trigger it. Okay, so this is a softbox. It's from the brand Newer. It's 120 centimeters. It's a little bit too big for this room, but yeah, I didn't know they was going to be so big. But anyway, it's like 30 euros, pretty good. I'll leave a link in the description. And yeah, I can't really complain for the quality. For 30 euros, it's an excellent thing to experiment or to start with. Right, so this is a sort of high-key photography, I would say, or low-key. No, high-key. Yeah, this is a sort of high-key photography. You basically turn on the flash, you make it really bright, and well, this will be super white and you won't get any light on this side of your face, and that's how you can create the silhouette. It's also pretty nice because you do see a little bit of light like on your nose and your lips and your chest. And yeah, I basically stood over here in this very same room. I took my pose and the camera was taking pictures. Yeah, let me quickly show you. So this was basically my setup. My camera over here with the wireless trigger, the softbox behind me. And it's important when you do this, when you take your picture, that this turns out completely white, 100%. You can make sure of that by checking the highlights on your camera. It most likely does have that function, but yeah, just make sure that this is very bright. Let's quickly take a test photo to see how it turns out. Okay, this is the result that we have. As you can see, this is blinking, so that means that it's overexposed. It's pure white now, which is good. but as we can still see, there's like quite a bit visible of my face. This is basically high key photography, but yeah, I'm a little bit underexposed, and I actually want to underexpose myself even more. I want to become completely black. So basically there's just a bit too much light right now. By increasing our shutter speed and increasing the aperture, we can decrease that. And with some basic editing in Lightroom, by increasing the highlights and lowering the shadows, we were able to get this. Yeah, so that's basically how you do this. You can do all kinds of creative things with this setup. You could also do like a mystery reveal, like someone is completely black and then he's suddenly visible. You could play with like a sword or other objects which are going through you or something, creating silhouettes. Yeah, cool setup. Alright, the next two photographs that I'll show you how to make are this one and this one. My thought with this photograph was, like, I'm standing over here and I myself am also standing in the distance, and once I read a quote or I heard a sentence, maybe it was in a movie or something, it went something like, are you running away from yourself or towards yourself? And it was pretty cool, you know, like, are you happy with yourself? Are you running away from something, or do you like want to run to yourself? Do you want to discover who you are and what you can do? And that inspired me to make that photo. And I actually have other ideas with a similar theme in mind. I imagine a green field with one tree on like 1/3 of the frame, and I'm like sitting sort of down and sad on the other side of the tree, and the other me is on the other side of the field searching for myself. It could be a pretty artsy photograph with a deeper meaning. As you might have noticed by now, or if not then you will know it now, a lot of these photos rely on the fact that your camera stands perfectly still in one place on one position. That's why a tripod is so crucial. In many of these portraits that I make of myself, I often paste two photos above of each other. I'm like, in one frame I'm doing a weird pose and in the other frame I'm doing another pose. And because the camera never moves, everything perfectly aligns. And so you can paste yourself multiple times and erase that what you don't need. And yeah, that's also how I will create these next two photographs which I talked about. Okay, so here I have photo 1 and here comes photo 2. Yes, I want this. You simply create a layer mask. You could also create an inverse layer mask by holding Alt and pressing on the layer mask button. Then you press B for brush, make sure it's big and soft. We create a white brush, I was somewhere over here. And voila, there I am, running towards myself. And just like that you can also create this, and this, and whatever else you can come up with. And here's another example with the floating camera. As you can see, this is me without a camera. And then I take my second picture, I drop it in. Alright, I again create an inverse layer mask. I take my brush, it has to be white to reveal, and we simply paint. Of course, you can do this very accurately. I don't need all of that. We make it black again, remove. And yeah, pretty cool. Alright, that was it for this video. I hope you've learned something, maybe you got inspired, maybe you'll try to recreate one of these next level self-portraits. If you do so, let me know, it would be really nice to see them. And yeah, see you next time, bye bye.